Good evening, everybody. Welcome to again, a heartbreaking thing to say, but welcome to the final Hall of Fame induction ceremonies for the National Heavy Boxing League. Tonight, we honor the history of the NHBL, the past and the present, and we look to Season 10's future in the two matches we have later tonight between Comfy Len and WHOO Gotta Be Sneaky. Comfy Len and WHOO Gotta Be Sneaky as the second matchup. First matchup being Bright Boy and Meh in a defense. Bright Boy defending his Fight Night championship, and we're excited to see those matches later on tonight. But tonight we honor the history of the NHBL by looking towards those who have been historic in their contributions to the NHBL on the staffing side and historic in their boxing achievements on the heavy boxer side. And we're incredibly excited for the list of Hall of Famers that we've compiled together. The admin staff gave their suggestions and then compiled together who all we've seen contribute in a huge way, and those who have been incredible boxers. Unfortunately, I'm sure there are. I'm hoping that there's not any names that have been missed or not inducted, rightfully so. But we are pretty comfortable with the list that was put together. So we'll start off with staff. Let me start out with Simi. Simi is our first staff member to announce being inducted into the Hall of Fame. He has been a consistent referee since season 7 for the NHBL. He's continually showed up. He's officiated 2 final matches of tournaments at this point. He's also been consistently in the second round and the super semis on high stakes situations for the league's history, and he continually has shown improvement throughout his effort.
All right. Well, it's a great honor for this. I want to first thank my mom, my dad, and my parents. They've always been a big inspiration to me. Yeah. Other than that, I've enjoyed being in HBL. The reason I joined was because I saw the blog post for the end of season 6 highlights video that was made, and as soon as I saw that, I knew I was immediately interested because this seems such an interesting opportunity, and I thought if they've been going for 6 seasons, how bad can it be? And they obviously know what they're doing. So I did see that there were no registration slots for a boxer, but I saw that referee slots were open, and I thought, hey, that may be interesting, and I've enjoyed it ever since. So Fedora, thank you for making a great league. I also want to thank was it Fluffy Butt Sheep for who was the one that I believe reviewed my thing at the time, my application. He was great. Disco and Spogo for being great bosses. Yeah, everything's always great.
Next up, he's not in attendance tonight, and he unfortunately did not submit a speech to us, but Moonfart Flam, he was the referee for the 9th Sasha Heavyweight Championship this past season. He came in about the same time as Simi, and since season 7, he's been another consistent referee who's shown great skill and knowledge of the esport of heavy boxing and everything he does. He's taken his job very seriously. So congratulations to Moonfart Flam on his induction. And going back a little bit in history, the next member is Sir Commander Pancakes. Moonfart Flam is here. My apologies. Moon, go on ahead. My apologies.
No problem. Fedora, regardless, has been an absolutely fantastic CEO, creator, founder of this. And it's without needing to say that he's unlimited knowledge and power is invaluable towards making this entire league as good as it has been. So of course we can't also forget about Fluffy Butt Sheep for hiring me, same as just before. And also the new SVP and EVP of officiation. Those two have been absolutely wonderful, aside from the occasional Spogo spank, but we can just move on. It's also been a great time to work with quite a few of these boxers and other officials in the ring, and outside of the ring as well. And season 10 may be the last, it may be the most emotional, but it sure as heck will be the best one yet, thanks to Fedora and everyone else involved. So thanks again for the fun times, and I'll be sure to remember them long after the doors close.
Going back a little bit in NHBL history, unfortunately, don't have him on. He's probably changed his name multiple times or removed from friends list, so we don't know where he is now. But Sir Commander Pancakes is also inducted. He was the referee for the 4th Sasha Heavyweight Championship. He ended up not participating after season 4, but he was very consistent in season 2, 3, and 4. He's a fantastic official, always kept things clean in the ring. So congratulations to Sir Commander Pancakes. Next, we have Alcatraz for Green People, who's shortened his name now to Alcatraz. He's being inducted as, although he only joined last season in season 9, he has been incredible in just one season's time. He's done several different final matches of tournaments. He did the third Natasha Heavyweight Championship back in January of this year, and has consistently been fantastic.
Okay, thank you very much. Even though it's been 1 year really, and only one more year, I've had a really great experience with everyone. It's a very welcoming community, and I feel right at home, especially when I first started, which isn't a usual thing for when I join new groups. I didn't really get to talk to Disco that much throughout the season, but I'm hoping to talk with them more for the 10th in the final season and become closer. And Spogo and Fedora have always been there. They're always encouraging, they're kind, and they've helped me through pretty much everything that I needed while being in the league. It's just been a really great experience, and I'm super excited to be inducted and to continue to referee for the league for the final season.
This next member, he's doubled over in all aspects of the league except for officiating, but his knowledge is very extensive in that from his on the personal side, from his rants of officiating at the professional league levels, from his rants of officiating at the NHBL league level, his rants of this man can rant about anything, but that's not why we're inducting him into the NHBL Hall of Fame. He's been at all levels of the NHBL. He's been an administrative staff member, a commentator, and this past season, a boxer, and made it to the playoffs in his first season. Baxter, we're inducting him as a staff member just because the history he has with the NHBL, at least at this point, his contributions on the staff are much more than his achievements in heavy boxing, just because he's only had one season of boxing. But with Baxter, he was the first commentator coordinator. He was the first man to consistently, his job was to hire, train, and assign commentators for the NHBL. He's a great commentator, great friend. I've said it to him multiple times out the air, but I just wish I was less harsh on him at his time as a staff member. I was very critical and overbearing of him many times. And Baxter, you deserve this induction by far. There's a lot of things you deserve in this world, but I will publicly say it till the end of the days. I wish I was not as harsh on you, because if we had you as a staff member throughout season 10, this league would not be the same. And Sins has filled your shoes incredibly well. That's why he's getting inducted as well. But you laid the groundwork for how commentary should be in the league. You laid the groundwork for how things should adjust and should change. And you're an incredible friend, an incredible staff member, and could not be more thankful for everything you've done for the NHBL.
Thank you, Fedora. You guys can hear me, right? I'm clear coming through. Hello. Okay, just making sure. Just to start, I just want a little tidbit of information for everybody. This is actually the cosmetic loadout that I wore on my first night in the NHBL as a commentator. So I thought, come full circle. And it's funny that you should mention, things that we wish we could have done. Fedora, but there's when I look back on my time in the NHBL, there's a lot of things that I did that maybe I wish I'd done differently. I was never the nicest person to our officiating crew. There's a lot of communication errors that I made. I hired African redhead. That was a oof. I got a few laughs, but anyways, I feel like this isn't a night to remember. What could we have done differently? What could have done better? Like I look back and I see all the great stuff that we've done here. We built up the commentary team to where we've got great commentators for season 10. I don't think we have a single bad commentator here. We built up Fight Night, and we brought in so many great people. I think like 90% of the people in the crowd here tonight actually came in through Fight Night, so that's pretty cool. I've been a part of this league since I was in middle school, and now I'm a junior in college. Like, holy crap, where does the time go? But I've been very thankful to call this place my home for the last 6 or 7 years. I've been very thankful for all the boxers, all the staff members, and all the friends that I've made along the way. It's been an incredible ride, guys. I'm so honored to be out here for and to be inducted and to be among this legendary list of guys who've done so much for this league. And here's hoping to a very good season 10. And Comfy, I will get my revenge on you one of these days.
This next staff member is another one who's contributed so much, to the NHBL, and that's Ridge. From reading fact books anytime he's in the commentary booth, and there's an odd transition. From odd transition, substituting that with the fact book, from me telling him multiple times, you have permission to literally shoutcast the next round as if he's away from his microphone across the room, because the first time he did that, it was incredible. Clayface mentioning it in text chat. He from his contributions and from his dedication in the NHBL, because of the way we had to move things around, he was the fastest rise to the third in command in the NHBL. He became senior vice president of operations within 5 to 6 months of him being a staff member, and that's because of the incredible contributions he had. Between him being one of the lead members to help us bring in European boxers, including Shikin, including partially to Comfy Len, El Comandante, and boxers like that, to help us with the first international series event in London, as well as starting European Fight Night and getting that leading that charge along with other staff members, Spogo. And of course, Ridge also take responsibility for bringing in Ice, who will be inducted later today. But Ridge, and between all of the great moments off here, I remember we were at last week's Collision of Continents day 2, and Ridge was set to do play-by-play, and we're about to go live like 2 seconds about 90 seconds beforehand. I said, Ridge, grab the fact book. I need a fact book hype. Even though I was just there watching, I'm just like, I need a fact book hype. And I don't remember the specific fact that was in there, but he read one random one.
I don't know. I mean, I can look through it, but I don't know.
Yeah, he read one random one, and I'm just like, okay, that's good. We're good to go. And it's just moments like that are why Ridge is always a motivator. He's always an encourager, and he's always been so incredible at what he does. So he definitely deserves to be inducted into the NHBL Hall of Fame.
First things first, I just want to say, I know this will be copy, paste, Control V, Control C all day long here, but thank you. It's a fantastic, fantastic honor. And if the NHBL has kind of solidified one thing for me, is that it's given me a lot of a boost in voice. Just because I wasn't a great commentator back in the day. 2015 me would have shit the bed if he knew what I was doing right now. So, I mean, I'm very humbled, very honored, and this is just fantastic. And every single one of you glorious bastards in the crowd tonight have put a smile on my face at least once. But I want to highlight three in particular tonight: Dandelions, Clay, and Fed. From my time as SVP of operations, and from my time now as just a simple old commentator, you three are the best damn son of a bitches I've ever worked with. I will say that now. You three are fantastic, and I adore it as well. Also, a little shout out to Spogo, who helps me with Fight Night when Euro Fight Night, which I established, and sadly that is gone. But it was a fantastic pleasure working for that as well. So all I can say is thank you guys so damn much, man, honestly. And it's given me a ton of confidence, and I'll say more when the next time comes, which I assume you guys know what I mean by that, when I do my next big thing. But basically, that's all I really wanted to say. Just keeping it simple, keeping it improv as I always do. Before I go, in 2018, a plane full of Norwegian plumbers had to turn back because of a broken toilet.
All right, this next staff member, we're going to do something. I'm going to allow for something a little bit unprecedented here, because not as many of you guys know kind of the face behind it. Not as many as you are aware. But this next staff member, he's the guy who's the first one to view all of this. Yes, we have our people in server, and yes, they're one. But this guy's the first one who views almost everything NHBL wise. Bran Flakes is one of the great friends anyone could have, and he's the one I've never ever had an issue with, and Bran is just amazing. He's incredible, and I could not be more thankful for this streamer, this live streamer, this commentator, this hot take maker, this incredible friend, to have him in my life. And I know that the tears are supposed to start later in the season as we get closer, but it's just as the final Hall of Fame induction, there's no question in my mind at all about Bran getting into the Hall of Fame for the NHBL. Once we started this, I knew fully well Bran would get in there someday. It was just a matter of the timetable we were doing of inducting people, 5 seasons after they participated. But Bran, the reason I say unprecedented is because Bran, if you'd like to spawn in game as a class for temporarily and show yourself with a high five taunt so people could see your face, that'd be fantastic. So that way people could see you giving your acceptance speech, because there's only so much you could do of giving your speech through the webcam. So Bran, go ahead and go to the blue team and get you on the stage, because there's no one like Bran Flakes. There really isn't, and nobody on the staff has anything bad to say about Bran. And I don't like speaking for people that much, but nobody in the staff, nobody on the staff, nobody in boxing, no one in this league has a bad thing to say about Bran. That's a testament to his character. So, Hall of Fame, thank you for the incoming tribute, everybody. But Bran Flakes, congratulations, and you can finally officially show your face to these people, as you've been behind the camera many times. But congratulations, man. It's the least I can do, but I know I've still got a life to repay you.
It's been a long time coming, since January of 2016. I've stayed a streamer for that long, and sometimes I wonder why I'm still here. Because sitting behind a camera and just pointing things, and maybe your occasional edited notepad documents, so the scoreboard updates. That's not that necessarily most fun job, but here I am still today. And people have asked me, why do you still stay here? It seems like you're not even having fun. You don't get to fight, you just sit there and usually yell at people. Well, if I was in fight night, which I apologize for not being there, but work has had me go elsewhere. But I'm glad I stuck around. I'm glad that for some reason I thought that staying here was a good idea. Because never in my life would I meet the people I mean, where on earth am I going to meet feds if I wasn't here? Where am I going to meet people like Clayface? Where going to be anyone? Where am I going to meet anyone here in this crowd? They're quite diverse crowd of not only cosmetic choices but nationalities. Where else am I going to meet all of these English people, these French people, Australians, and even beyond those borders? Where else am I going to meet these people? And I'm glad that I stuck around to at least know them by their names, because I may not know them otherwise. But I am still thankful for the experience, and I am even more thankful that I received this Hall of Fame induction. Because it's a long time coming, feds. But to round it off, Brand is best streamer. Don't at me.
All right. This next staff member, he is in the same position as Baxter, being inducted as a staff member as opposed to a heavy boxer, and he's another one of those dedicated guys. And there have been many arguments. Why can't I box? Can you let me box? I want to fight. And there have been many arguments about that, but he by far is one of the most dedicated staff members I know. Even though he truthfully, even though he would rather box than be in this administrative staff position, since he's been involved since about season 3, season 4, a little bit into season 5, and decided upon Clayface's insistence and through the promotion ideas that we had to help with European Fight Night and become a referee. And then when Snake had to be removed, Disco got promoted and Spogo took the position. And since then, he's been complaining ever since about being in the position. But Spogo is by far another great friend, another person I cannot wait to meet in person someday. And he's everyone knows the Spogo spank shall not be messed with.
Made it this far, might as well give it my all to the very end. So yeah, I'm Spogo, and looking at everyone here, I've pretty much spanked all of you, and it's not gonna end here. We'll still got the season finish, and yeah, as you mentioned, still kind of reluctant about the whole officiating deal. Still kind of want to box, so I'm looking forward to April. And you're going to be sure I will make my best to kick your ass. All of you. All of the stuff I see. I will massacre you.
I'm going to knock you out round 1.
Probably. But then I'm going to meet you. I will hand you.
Listen.
No, there's not going to be anything to listen. So, sadly enough, it is with discontentment that I will have to accept the role as a staff member. I wanted to be a boxer, and it was a great experience to be a staff member all this time, and I will again do my best to keep running this. But man, being inducted as a staff member, not what I wanted. But good times in the past, and probably still some great times ahead. I gotta thank all my predecessors to, the higher ups positions for officiating, the SVPs and the EVPs. And I gotta thank everyone that's been helping me in the staff, commentators, but also my referees. All of them have been pretty good. I've been relying on all of you, and I'm really thankful for all the job you've been doing.
About season 6, about season 6, I was approached by our then staff member, who's also going to be inducted later, General Trocus, and he. I can already see the guy know who I'm talking about. He approached me about another boxing league that we should do interpromotional stuff with. It's called the Swap Shop Boxing League. And I'll tell you, there were some dark nights with that. There was one night where Clayface and I, after an SSBL major event, that we critiqued every little thing that Sins had done that night. And I remember that as a moment of I remember that as a moment that Sins had the choice of, do I listen to this guy or do I say, screw you, I'm never talking to you again? And he chose the former, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. He took a break, sold the SSBL to us after life got in the way, and I saw him launch TF2 one day on my Steam notifications when they, at the time before the client update all happened, and it continuously notified me of stuff. And I'll never forget the day that I messaged him, do you want to commentate again? Because that started one of the most incredible friendships I've ever had. Sins is I can't go too in depth because of the personal level that everything has gone through between me and Sins, but I'll try to stay on topic. But as a commentator, as a fight night coordinator, as an admin staff member, and to even witness him as a best friend, see how well of a husband he is, how well of a father he is, see how amazing he is to his family. Sins is by far one of the greatest people I've ever known, and his contributions to the league are beyond measure. Fight night by far, Baxter laid the groundwork. Sins made it into what it is today, with consistent boxers showing up every week, which was originally the vision I had for the NHBL, but I could never enact it fully because of the situations in my life. And Sins does. Sins has always been the better version of me, and I couldn't be more proud of the man he's become. Sins, from the bottom of my heart, you're one of the greatest things that's ever happened to the NHBL, and I know every staff member, they fully know that because of the training you've given to these boxers, the opportunity you've given them, the training you as well given to our staff members, picking up where Baxter left off in the commentating abilities and assigning crews and everything. And I cry a lot over this guy because of how much he's impacted my life. But Sins, thank you for everything NHBL wise.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of various ages, my name is Sin Synergy, and since I was just a little boy, I always dreamt of being an NHBL Hall of Famer. And that's something that I'm so glad that I can call myself today. Just kidding, NHBL wasn't around when I was little, but let's be serious here. I wanted to do like a quick little speech because I told Feds, we're having this big old speech because it's the end of the season. I was going to have a big speech towards later the season, but there's a lot of people here, and most of the people, if not everyone, except for a couple that may have been before my time, most of them I have talked to and I've worked with or have impacted me in some way, shape, or form. So I figured live on Twitch and in front of all of you people, my friends and my family. So bear with me here. Let's travel back in time for a second. Little old Sins. And let's do a name reveal. Little old Aaron. Going to school every day. And he never had an easy life. Parents bickered. School wasn't much so better. Bullies, teachers not giving you the time of day to help you with your cause. Constant mistreatment and lack of focus. And they didn't help when growing up. When going through elementary, through middle school, through high school, I was always faced with adversity when it came to the other kids in class. I was bullied a lot. I was beaten up on occasion. I was to the point where a lot of people would just given up. And I've almost given up a couple times. And because of that, I have a lot of mental issues that still affect me to this day. With that being said, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. When I was 12 years old, July 1st, 2011, that's what it says on my mercenary badge, was the first day I launched TF2. When I launched TF2, first of all, my dad thought TF2 was a virus and I was killing the whole family. No, Dad, it's not a virus. It's a good old free-to-play game. So I play it on there, and of course, as a little kid, I thought this was great. This is awesome, even though I can only play 10 frames per second because the desktop computer was horse crap back then. Well, it's still horse crap now. They still have the same computer. But through the months that I was playing on there and the years I would then play on it later, I ended up loving the game. I ended up loving the community. I ended up loving everything about it. It was the first game I played on Steam, and really the first game that really I played a lot of, other than hockey games, because hockey was really big with me back then and still is today. But then, I started getting into the other different communities, little different groups. And of course, the biggest group that I was part of before here was Swap Shop. Of course, what happened with Swap Shop back then, I don't want to talk about too much, but I do want to say this. They gave me an opportunity to kind of show myself in front of the community, in front of you people. Of course, back then, maybe you people weren't around as much, but I was in front of the community. I loved it. I loved helping the community. I loved being an admin there. I loved kind of, taking some of the things that I was afraid of in the real world and making myself feel different, a different personality. That's why I named myself Sins. The sins of my past self is now full front onto the internet and to you people, but in a different way. Like I always tell my buddy Fedora, Sins is not like me in real life. Sins might seem like an arrogant prick. Trust me, I am not. I'm a very kind-hearted gentleman who, he was a very nice person. I do believe so. So then finally, I decided I wanted to start something revolutionary, something very, very, very revolutionary. It's very something that's never happened before. I'm going to start a boxing league until I found out that that's already happened. But I decided to do the SSBL, and with a year with that, it was great. I had the most fun time ever. And then General Jokus, I love General Jokus, told me about NHBL, and like Fedora said, the rest is history. I took a break off because I wanted to focus more on my mental health. I was not doing very well. Until I came back like a half a year later. I decided to come back to TF2. I left NHBL behind me. I wanted to start anew. Well, a day after I joined back to TF2, I get a message from Fedora. Do you want to come and commentate? And it's like that text from a crush that you haven't talked to in years. Oh my God, what do I say? What do I say? Do I say yes? Do I say no? Well, I said yes, and that was the best decision I ever made. With Fight Night, with communication, or commutating, sorry, I'm kind of emotional myself, so I'm kind of spitballing my words here. But with commentary, and I learned a lot of commentary from Bax. Bax has taught me a lot with commentary, so I thank him for a lot of stuff that he did. Although me and him didn't really see eye to eye at first, he turned out to be one of my best friends. So with Fight Night, again, something Bax had laid the foundation on, I was able to build up upon it. And I know a lot of you guys that are here in attendance went through Fight Night one way, shape, or form. And with all the uphill battles I felt like I've dealt with my entire life, and the still uphill battles I face now, it's nice that I can give back and really make something that I feel like, I'm passionate about. I love this. I want to participate because this is something that in my childhood me wouldn't have never dreamt. And that's having a lot of friends and doing something that I would feel like I benefit from it and people benefit from me from. And it's this stuff, and with NHBL closing at the end of next June, I do want to announce, if that's okay, Fedora, that when NHBL 10 closes its doors, I too will be retiring from administrative duties from any TF2, anything related from this point on. So you won't see me doing anything boxing related anymore after season 10. You won't see me doing anything with another group. I'll be 22 then. I have a girlfriend of going on 6 years, and with college and with work, it's time for me to move on by the end of the season. But I'm willing to bet that season 10 is going to be our best season. And I can't wait to be there with all of you guys. And if there's one thing that you guys remember me by, I hope you remember me this. 1, for having a pretty long speech at the Hall of Fame, and 2, to putting some smiles on each and every one of you guys' face at one point or another. If it wasn't for the you know what bucket or grounding and pounding, I wouldn't be here. So thank you to everyone. And I hope you guys have a good season 10 when that comes happen. Thank you, Fedora. Thank you, Clayface. Thank you to everyone in between. You've all been well, and I love you all. Thank you.
Because Dan DeLion is to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. The take notes guy, the take notes guy, the only one dedicated to put a microphone on his conscientious objector. And this man, of course, he's been in the senior vice president broadcasting coordinator role. He's been on the administrative staff since we had to make the move. And Dan has been an incredible commentator. He takes his job very seriously. And between that, he's also been the meme master around the NHBL. Dandelions is an incredible person to have around, and he definitely deserves this induction. So next, I will quote Baxter when he first read the name on the commentator applications. Who is Dan DeLions?
I'm taking notes. Anyway. I was gonna do the funny bit, but I took too many leaps. Okay, one sec. Okay.
You can see why this guy's my favorite commentator right now.
How long have I been here? 2 or 3 years? I can't remember, but I just remember I came here because of some promotional thing for the Bearded Expense versus Big Joey Slapnuts fight way back when. I saw the promotional stuff and went to the group page and was like, oh, let me try it out. And on a whim, I applied for commentating, and I've always wanted to get into esports commentating, and this was sort of like my step into the door into that world. And I've loved every minute of this. I started out so scared and so worried about everything, and now I just meme and have fun. I paid $8 to get this microphone put on the sign because I messed it up 3 times prior. There was the time I had the bug in my room and nearly fell out of my chair commentating because the bug was right above my head. How do I mess up a decal 3 times in a row? I tell you what, it did. The color was lying to me on the color selection thing. It was lying to me. Anyway, thank you to Fedora. Thank you to Baxter. I couldn't do what I do without those guys. Ridge is a true commentating pal to be with. It's a lot of fun. I think my first commentating was it was supposed to be with African Redhead. I was gonna say I worked with him once, but actually I never did because he never showed up to my commentating dates. So there will be many more notes to take when the season ends. I will always be taking notes, and I will always be enjoying my time here in the NHBL.
Next inductee he sent me a really small speech, but it doesn't truly measure the impact he's had. You could make the accusations of bias now, but it's my brother. Chopasaurus next. Choppy, he's been around with the NHBL ever since it started. He's the reason I got into TF2, and I could never repay him for that. In 2011, he was playing Team Fortress 2. He bought it with the orange box, and of course, me being the obsessed, young kid who wanted to being the obsessed young kid who wanted to be like his brother, I went into TF2, and it started one of the most incredible journeys of my life, and I could not be more thankful for him for that. And he's always, he's been a staff member in some capacities over the years. He's sometimes been on, he's sometimes been off. He's been both a referee, he's been both a commentator, and he's always been around. He's always been supportive, and I can't thank him enough for not just being my brother, but being one of the best support beams I've ever had. And I asked him, so he was trying to get connected tonight, but he's not at a PC right now, and his connection isn't working. But he sent me his acceptance speech. He said he's going to pull a Rod Serling. I can think of many people more deserving of this honor, but none more grateful. Thank you. So that was a simple speech that Choppy showed, but thank you, Choppy, for everything as we continue this journey of life together. He's essentially the second head of officiating for the NHBL. He was second to excuse me, I'm getting my numbers wrong here. He was the one who really set the standard for coordinating of officials in the NHBL, and he was instrumental. He spent several hours with me writing up the first draft in season 7 of the NHBL rulebook. He helped me map out the rules, helped us map those out, and some of I believe at least one or two boxers here present here and getting into the Hall of Fame were part of that. Part of that discussion when we pinged the Discord server and told people, hey, we're starting a rulebook. And he from the jokes he made from me anytime I broadcast talking about a rack of lamb and all that. Fluffy Butt Sheep is an incredible person who wanted to be here tonight, but he only got 6 hours of sleep the night before, so he couldn't push himself to stay awake. He wanted to stay well rested. And thank you to Fluffy Butt Sheep for your coordination of officials, for your dedication, your sacrifice, and you were a very, very incredible member of the NHBL. Next on the list, I was not sent an acceptance speech, nor is he in attendance tonight. Tyrone, he was an incredible commentator for the NHBL through season 3 a little bit, and season 4 and 5 and 6. He was around for a while, and he did so much dedicated. We have Tyrone's dank memes in the NHBL Discord because he was the biggest advocate for getting a meme chat in Discord, and he was a great commentator. He knew what he was talking about. He always tried to analyze it. Such him and Baxter used to play off of each other a decent amount. So congratulations to Tyrone on being inducted. And this next member, Baxter finds very finally, Mindless Gonzo. Mindless Gonzo was essentially our celebrity commentator. He called the 3rd Sasha Heavyweight Championship. He was part of season 4. 5, 6, 7, up to about, I believe, season 7 or season 8, and he was he was one of several celebrity commentators we had over the years, but he was the most consistent, and he did some. And of course, Baxter mentions, please go to mindlessgonzo.org for more information. And Gonzo did not send me a speech, unfortunately, but thank you to Mindless Gonzo for posting about us on your social media several times and being a consistent commentator for so many seasons. All right, next one we have here. He didn't send me an acceptance speech either, nor is he in attendance, but General Drokus. Drokus is the reason we found the SSBL. Drokus is the reason that a good amount of the boxers from Europe are involved in the NHBL. And General Drokas helped us to get things structured and get things underway. He's an incredible fight coordinator and incredible leader, and General Drokas is a great person. So congratulations to General Drokas on his induction. Next, we have a man who picked up. So about in season 3, we had a DJ for the NHBL, and he ended up leaving, and we needed someone to fill the void. And for about several seasons, he was on the media staff, and he was also our music provider. And for a short time, he was a video editor. And his dedication, I promise you, he may allude to mistakes he made. We've all made mistakes, but Wallable, in my opinion, for his dedication as a music provider, saving a good portion of the film in the past when nobody else would. He was incredible. So Wallable is inducted in the NHBL as the consistent media member, consistent theme song player, but he's been an incredible part to the NHBL's history, and we could not thank him enough for it.
I'm very honored to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, even if a part of me feels like I don't really deserve it very much. I've really been associated with it for a while now, but I'm pretty proud of Fedora and the rest of the staff in regards to how it's grown over the years. In particular, having the opportunity to partner with and get sponsored by those who have a pretty large presence in the TF2 community, like Steam Rep, Critscast, and Scrap.tf. As for why I don't exactly feel like I deserved it, well, or at least a part of me did. During my time as a video editor, I didn't put out as much as I probably should have. And I feel like a part of it was just because I just didn't take as much responsibility as I should have for it. But it was still something I took on, and I took much longer than I should have to admit that I wasn't really up to the job. So why am I admitting all of that in my speech for this, and not just in private? Because I feel like it sort of shows that they think I'm still being worthy of being remembered in a positive sort of way for the NHBL's legacy. For a time before and after, doing video editing, I did work as a music provider, as Fedora mentioned. But a part of me always sort of felt like my lack of output during that time sort of overshadowed that. But I guess I'm glad to be sort of proven wrong there. Something I want to mention is just something I really appreciate is how forgiving Fedora's been, during my time as a video editor, but also just in general. I really appreciate that.
Our next staff member, he prefers to go by Anonymous B, but this staff member was incredibly influential in us becoming more valid as a league. We got structure. We had structure in our season, structure in our sponsorship formats, and structure all around for how our systems worked and everything. He was incredibly instrumental in getting us to that next step, and we could not be more thankful for Anonymous B and the work he's done. So congratulations to him on being inducted to the Hall of Fame. Next up, Husey. And Husey is the reason that we're standing here on this VIP stage. Husey is the reason that we have the Superdome and the Fight Night Arena to box in. He's the reason that these maps exist. He's incredible. The man from the other Australian involved in the NHBL. He's actually from Perth. Clayface have known him for years, and he's just an all-around amazing person. So congratulations to Husey on your Hall of Fame induction, and thank you for giving us a home for the NHBL since the season 5 playoffs. It's been incredible. And the last but certainly not least staff member we're inducting into the Hall of Fame, Dovahkiin Warrior. Dovahkiin, he picked up where Husey left off about halfway through season 6. He's been a dedicated map editor. He, of course, this season we're going with White Russian Bear, but Dovahkiin couldn't make it, so I do have his acceptance speech. But Dovahkiin has been an incredible map editor, willing to host a server for us last second on some things. He's configured things last minute, always been ready to work in an emergency bind, and we could not be more thankful for his dedication. So his acceptance speech. Greetings, everyone. First off, I would like to say that I am extremely grateful to be a part of the Hall of Fame 2020. Throughout the years of work and experience I have with the NHBL, I've seen the most unique and exquisite Team Fortress 2 community to ever exist. I believe my time here has been well spent, and if I had to start over, I would gladly spend time here all over again. It has been fun watching some of the most tense boxing moments of all time on the National Olympic Boxing League Twitch stream, as well as keeping the maps maintained. Being accepted as Hall of Fame really makes me feel valued, though I've become a stepping stone for one of the most genius communities to ever exist. This acceptance truly was unexpected to me, and I'm deeply moved by it. I am also grateful to know that I can tell people I have worked for the largest heavy boxing community on Steam and have been recognized by them for years to come. Thank you all for giving me a place in history, being here tonight, and for supporting the entirety of the NHBL. I wish each and every one of you a great evening, and I look forward to the future of the National Olympic Boxing League. So, in unison, everybody, please give a warm round of applause for not just Dovahkiin, but all of the staff members in the NHBL's history who have contributed. Thank you. Next up, we have the heavy boxers that we get to, and let me just say, Clayface was previously inducted, as somebody asked. There were previous inductions, of course, for the Hall of Fame, but let me just say that we would not be where we are without the heavy boxers. Without heavy boxers, you don't have a league. Without competitors, you don't have a league. It's very straightforward. So we cannot thank you enough for, over the league's history, for you heavy boxers consistently showing up, especially to fight night and to the major circuits, to those of you who have consistently showed up, those of you who participated, those of you who have signed up, those of you who are online for the backup roster, those of you who were not expecting to be thrown into a tournament and put in on an emergency backup roster. Cannot thank you enough for your dedication to that. So thank you. And just because you're not in the Hall of Fame, that doesn't mean that does not mean that your role was not important. Every heavy boxer was valuable in the NHBL. In Discord and in server now, we have two Sasha heavyweight champions, and one of them all the way back from season 3, who of course was dedicated. Is dedicated last year, but it shows how incredible this league's history has been. So, without further ado, we get to the heavy boxers now. He's not here in server, didn't send an acceptance speech, but Lears, the 4th Sasha heavyweight champion, of course, beating White Russian Bear back in season 4. Congratulations to him on that incredible feat and just pulling off the upsets there. So congratulations to Lears on that. Some Porcupine as well inducted. I believe close to Spotton. Close to Spotton. He held the original record for the most consecutive tournaments won. And also the most NHBL tournaments won in league history. He held that up until Spot. And of course, 5th Sasha heavyweight champion, won the Season 5 Invitational, the Season 5 Battle Royale, and the Season 5 Boxing Day Classic. Just an incredible feat. So that was, of course, winning the Sasha Heavyweight Championship against Russian Bear. So congratulations to some porcupine on his induction.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to stand here today to induct this heavy boxer, and this heavy boxer I personally scouted from the great United Kingdom. He's been a huge part of the European scene. He was he was actually on the first ever in European event, the inaugural European event, the NHBL London International Series. He's the runner-up for the 6th Sasha Heavyweight Champion. He competed at the Collision of Continents just last week. He's still an active boxer. Gives me great pleasure to induct this man, El Camarate. What a fantastic boxer he is. One of the few that built the EU scene from the ground upwards. I mean, this guy was the first to headline a European show. It gives me great pleasure to stand here today and induct him.
Well, thank you for not only putting me first, but in the first place, inducting me into the Hall of Fame. It's a big honor that I really wasn't expecting. That was the first thing that went through my mind. I was there when the new inductees were being announced in server. Names came up that I expected. One came up that I was celebrating, Metro, one of my very good friends here. And then my name came up. And that was really weird because I, like many people you're here talking here, didn't expect to be called up because I didn't expect that I was Hall of Fame material or anything such like it. You know, had friends, been at events, fought, got my face smashed in by people of note, all good stuff. But to be included in something like this is it's just an honor, really. Clayface stole what I was going to say too, because I was going to make the point that I didn't find the NHBL. The NHBL found me, and in particular, Clayface found me. Just through the Heavy Boxers Steam group, I think, at some point in my first university year, stumbled upon me. He added me, started talking to me about this thing I'd never heard about ever. It was kind of weird at the time, to be honest, because it was just out in the middle of nowhere, but, you know, I went ahead with it. Let's see what it is. And before I know it, a few years later, here I am standing here on the stage in front of many people here who are big figures in TF2, the biggest figures in TF2 boxing. And, you know, it's not one of those things that you're necessarily prepared to speak that much about. It's just it's a huge honor. It's a big surprise, and I'm very glad to be here. I'm very glad to have kill-binded myself to everyone previous who has also been inducted. I was very proud to piss around in the locker room until we got told off in the 4v4s last week. I was very proud to prove the superiority of the EU team against the North America team, which I'm sure Clayface will agree with, since it is objective fact. No, we did not cheat backs. We won. We won. We flexed and we won. And the other thing I knew I'd have to do when I got up here, aside from, of course, thanking Fedora for going through the whole process of getting everything operational here. Because if it wasn't for that, then Clayface wouldn't have had a reason to find me in, you know, a completely random Steam group player list, effectively. The other one I have to thank, of course, is Metro, because, like I said in the Commie v Metro match we had 2 weeks ago, those are the matches I look forward to the most. That's what, if I had to say my reputation here was built on one thing, it would be those matches. You know, fighting WRB, War Russian Bear, big, sure, semi-finals, big, yeah. Was it finals? I don't remember. Clayface can tell you afterwards. But it's just it's the Metro matches that have been the most enjoyable. And as I said to him, I would throw a sandwich and then die on stage in his name. So to Metro, who unfortunately couldn't make it, here you go, my man.
This next boxer, of course, everyone knows that after the 9th Sasha Heavyweight Championship and the tournament in June, we, of course, had to remove him from any Season 10 participation. But Ice is a two-time Sasha Heavyweight Champion. He won the Fisticuffs in Season 8 and the Boxing Day Classic in Season 8. And even though Ice had his fallout at the end, he was still an incredible boxer. He was incredible, maybe a little bit arrogant at times, but it was just witnessing greatness in front of us almost every time he stepped into the ring. He very much deserved the path he took for the Sasha Heavyweight Championships, and fell short against Chicken in the Super Semis, but he did send me an acceptance speech. Thank you for the induction. I don't really have much else to say other than that, and my time in the league was great, and I always hope for the best during Season 10 for everyone. Good luck to the boxers and good luck to the staff. Make Season 10 the best you can.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we go next to one of the most decorated heavy boxers in NHBL history. Originally started out as a TF2 heavy main and a TF2 Highlander. He was scouted by myself as well, and we brought him to the first season of the European finals, and boy oh boy did he whoop everybody in that tournament. And then the next year he's the first and second Natasha heavyweight champion and the runner-up for the 7th Sasha heavyweight champion. It is the one and only Retro. What a decorated boxer he is. Was consecutively the best European boxer for like 2 straight seasons. He was the best to ever do it for Europe. Insane. He was nearly undefeated in the NHBL. He only lost about a couple times over his 3 seasons. I do have a speech that was sent to me by him. I will read what he said. My time with the NHBL has been an experience, to say the least. It's been a hell of a ride boxing against and alongside all these wonderful people, and I've enjoyed every second of every event I attend. I'd like to thank everyone that's part of the NHBL for making this an experience I'll never forget. He was a true great boxer, a wonderful boxer. He did not sign up for season 10, which is the first time since season 7. He will not be in the NHBL, but once again, congrats on his Hall of Fame induction, Retro.
And this next boxer did not send us a speech, nor is he in attendance tonight. But that doesn't excuse that doesn't push aside the history that he had. He was of course in season 8. In season 8, he made a name for himself by qualifying for the playoffs, and then was the runner-up for the 8th Sasha Heavyweight Championship. He was the runner-up for the 9th Sasha Heavyweight Championship, and in the 9th season, he qualified very early on for the playoffs by winning the Backyard Brawl last season. Chicken has been an incredible boxer. He of course did well in his 2 seasons that he was in the European finals, making it either the 2nd or 3rd round. But Chicken is not present here tonight, but congratulations to Chicken for his accomplishments.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is in server tonight. He is the reigning 9th Sasha heavyweight champion and the reigning 3rd Natasha heavyweight champion, the face of the NHBL right now, the dual champion, Lenny. Comfy Len is in the house, and what a star he is. 1 season into the NHBL. This man tore the roof off the house, claiming both world championships. The #1 boxer ranked currently in the world. That is correct here. Head, he is unbelievable. His first season in the NHBL, he gets a quick rise to fame, and rightfully so. He has to be inducted. He's been a major part of the NHBL for the past year. He started off at Sins' Fight Night, built his way up, signed up for the European finals, and that run that he went on the European finals, that was an epic run. Close matches, grudge matches that he had, and as Commandante mentioned in the chat, he recently captained Team Europe in the Collision of Continents to a win. It's the one and only Comfy Len.
Good evening, everyone. It's with great pleasure I do take my induction into the NHBL Hall of Fame. It's wonderful to see everyone on server to see it happen. It's great. It's great to be here. I joined the NHBL, of course. I think just after the end of season 8, maybe just before season 9, sort of somewhere around that time. With one of Sins' Fight Nights. I believe it was General Droikus made a post in the Heavy Warriors Discord, said, hey, there's a cool heavy boxing league and it's going to be wacky and fun, and here I am. And, you know, within a single tournament, I tore the roof off the house. EU champion, NA champion, Collision of Continents champion, better than backs, bloody blah, all that. Yeah, it's fantastic. I've made a lot of, I think, friends for life in my very short time here, and yeah, it's obviously I had great to have the support from Clay, from Feds, from Sins. That can really give me that push to be the best. I actually the main push for myself was, of course, the very first fight I attended. I got knocked out round 1. I hated it, and I just pushed myself to be the very best, like no one ever was. Yeah, it's fantastic. Thank you to everyone for turning out and letting me beat you, and basically just giving me the wins, not on merit, but because you felt sorry for me, and and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you to everyone for turning out.
And the next heavy boxer, so I correct myself earlier for what I said. Some Porcupine, he had not only the most tournaments won by any heavy boxer, he also had the most consecutive tournaments won by any heavy boxer with 4. And that gets us into our next one, who broke that record. And that's the Spottin' Man, or Spot on Potential, Spot Doge, all the different names he's had. He's been around since season 4, started to really hit his stride in season 6 when he won the Backyard Brawl, then won the Boxing Day Classic in season 6, won the Clash in season 7 and the Boxing Day Classic in season 7, and then in season 9 winning the Boxing Day Classic again. And currently he not only has the record for the most NHBL tournaments won by any heavy boxer with 5, he also has the most runner-ups in any tournament with 5. So to have that consistency throughout the season, and to have that incredible skill, and to qualify with all of those tournaments, probably as one of the boxers who's qualified for the playoffs, up there in the numbers. Of course, Metro qualifying the most, but we'll get to him later. But spotting up there for the most qualifications in the final. But we now bring up the man himself, the man who always tells you to listen, even though what you know he's about to say is going to be something completely off topic. But he's one of the greater boxers in the NHBL. So let us bring up the man who makes the fajitas, Mr. Spottin'.
What is up, my people? See, I forgot to write up a speech, and I should have, but don't worry. I got some little guidelines for myself that I wrote up at last minute in true spot-on fashion. So, I grew up in a really weird scenarios. None of my life felt really normal and stuff, right? It just kept taking these strange behind turns. I've gotten into multiple fights at school. I've gotten to like whatever. In fact, one of the times I remember, I had gotten into a fight that the school faculty actually like congratulated me for, because no one in the school liked that dude, and I don't understand why, but like I just felt mortified going home. Like it felt really nice and stuff. DSB, whatever. So that's besides the point. Let me tell you how I started. All right, my dudes. So I found the Heavy Boxing League Steam group, and I was just like browsing stuff, and I joined it. I seen that one of the seasons was about to start up, so it was already in progress. I joined the backup roster. I ended up getting a message from an ad from Fedora and a message saying, "We need you in the server. We need a backup." So I joined. And I ended up going into like this entire setup of rounds every like week. On Saturday, we would come into the server, we would have some matches, we have our like matches, and then we would leave. It was set up like that. So then, and for some reason, I had done so well in that I ended up going to the semifinals of that. There, I met my greatest match that I had met at the time. White Russian Bear. Now, let me tell you, that guy is literally a goddamn monster. Run away from him if you ever see him running at you. He is scary. I went up against him. We had some close behind matches. This man was a beast. He beat me. We all know this. He beat the ever-living hell out of me. So then I was like, man, that felt really bad, but that also felt really exhilarating. Because originally I was just going to join for like the keys and stuff. I thought it was just going to be like simple. This would just be easy. I main demo night. I get how bad the hit confirmation is in this game. It's like whatever. So I go in. It wasn't that easy. So my focus steadily over the time turned from like just wanting to win because of some keys to wanting to come back every so often to just actually feel the feeling of getting better genuinely. It came from just completely shifted from money to like just loving this. So I kept coming back every season consistently. I would come back. I would make sure Fedora had like the easiest time with me. I didn't want to give like any bullshit. So that's how I started, okay? And during that time, we all remember the technique. You all know the technique I use in the ring. The gator roll. Someone coined it. It stuck around. I don't know how it did, but I never changed my strategy ever since then. I would always make sure to back my prey into the corner and just beat them down. Now, once you're in my range, you are not getting out. Eventually, people started figuring out how to counter it, but still quite effective to this day. But like, let's get into this one of my favorite matches. How about that? You want to hear about my favorite matches? Some porcupine. That motherfucker was the only one who could consistently stop my gator roll. Oh, he was so good at sidestepping. And eventually I ended up incorporating that into my own style. I stopped being hyper aggressive like I was because of the KGB. I hate the KGB. Fuck the KGB. You want to know why I'm wearing these stock fists? Because I love these things. These are my favorite way to beat someone up. You want to know it's not slowly pummeling them, and just praying that I don't screw up my next swing. Because if I do, I'm going to have a bad time. And that's what always happens. That's why I never won the finals. Every single time it was the finals, I would just squander all of that opportunity that I had and just screw up every time. Maybe I would make it, sometimes I would make it past the first round, fall in the next one. The finals are my bane, and I never understand why anyone fears me in that regard. I get it. Spotted. It's a name that somehow strikes fear, and I don't know how it does. But I'll tell you what. You know, let me stop spinning. Let me tell you something, okay? I love this league. I love it a lot. This is my favorite pace. I always looked up to this place. In the back of my mind, no matter where I was, I always remember the dates I had to show up to. Well, actually, I didn't. Fedora told me like a week before, but like I would always make sure that I had my schedule clear for those days. Because I love this place. I love you guys. You guys, fucking best family, fucking best online family I've ever had. You guys, only one time I didn't show up. Exactly. And then I didn't show up for an entire season because I didn't have a good enough computer. You get the point. Point is, I love this place. And I just now heard that this is the last season and I'm back. And I almost my heart fucking shook when I heard that. But I'm going to make this very clear here. I intend on beating every last one of you motherfuckers in that crowd. I will make sure that I am the one that reigns on top at the final season. Why? Not because of spite. Not because I think you guys are easy, but because I want this. I will always look at that badge and I will feel happiness because I was a part of something great. I love this place. And it saddens me deeply to see it go. You guys are all part of history that I hope someday someone remembers enough to write a book about. This place, fucking beautiful. Love you, motherfuckers.
All right, the next boxer, he is in server, but he's not able to give his speech because of a bunch of background noise for him, but it's Mr. Dr. Professor Patrick. He came from the Swap Shop Boxing League and participated in one of the interpromotional matches we had, and he was incredible for that relationship to start instrumenting. But once he came over to the NHBL, he was fairly successful. He won the Fisticuffs in Season 6 and the Battle Royale in Season 6. And then third in the NHBL finals of Season 6. And he continued to participate through Season 7 and 8 and a little bit in Season 9. And he was very incredible in not just in the SSBL, but in the NHBL and what he did. And so he sent me this speech. What a time it's been here in the NHBL for being one of the few remaining people that came from back when Sins ran the SSBL. I've enjoyed every moment here. Over the years, I've become less active due to my life changing and general interest of boxing increasing and decreasing with time. But every fight here has always been a blast. Even I was knocked out of the first round many times. I have met a ton of friends through my time here, and I wish it could keep going and improving, but all things have to come to an end, right? I'm honored to be accepted into the Hall of Fame. Heavy boxing from SSBL and NHBL has been part of my life for a long, long time, and I'm glad that I am able to be remembered with so many great boxers and staff members. Oh, and here's a little industry secret. I'm not actually a doctor.
This person did not send us a speech, or he's not in service tonight, but he is he's another SSBL and NHBL joint alumni. It is the one and the only Music. He is the Season 8 Wasteful Me Backyard Brawl Champion and the Season 8 Skyver Community Clash Champion. He was very dominant over a course of actually a couple of seasons. He was fantastic. He still is on the Heavy Warriors group. He actually runs that group now. He's active on there. I think I spoke to him like a couple months ago. So congratulations, Music, on the Hall of Fame induction, buddy.
So this next member told us he was going to send an induction speech and that he had work today, but we never got the induction speech, unfortunately. But we have to thank Big Joey Slapnuts. He's inducted into the Hall of Fame, the inaugural YouTube champion, completely undefeated before riding off into the sunset and vacating the championship belt. Defeated Bearded Expense, Pyro Joe, and then, of course, that 10-9 finish against Rider Cycle was just incredible. Big Joey, of course, at the time it was our most viewed event in NHBL history, which of course that got surpassed last week when Lazy Purple rated our broadcast. But that record stayed around for a long time, and we cannot thank Big Joey enough for approaching us. And that gets into the other, that gets to the next member as well, who didn't send us any speech, Bearded Expense. So the both of them approaching us in the beginning, asking to have a YouTube championship, to be able to have that sort of match. We were ecstatic, we were excited, and Clayface was all over that. And we were incredibly excited to have that event for the YouTube championship. So congratulations to both Big Joey Slapnuts and Bearded Expense for the YouTube championship and for their induction as well. We get into, he's actually in server today, Egyptian Bagel. Throughout his history, Bagel was favored in season 7 to win the Sasha Heavyweight Championship, but had to withdraw due to personal reasons at the time. And from there, he continued to qualify for the playoffs in season 8 and season 9. And of course, won the Battle Royale in season 7, and won the Battle Royale in season 9. An incredible boxer. So now we bring in Egyptian Bagel for his acceptance speech.
Wow. All right. So, I don't usually talk much using the mic, but since this is the last season and I am being inducted into the Hall of Fame, I think it's pretty good. I use the mic. I'm a little shy, so you have to excuse me on that. So, as a heavy boxer, when I initially joined in 2017, oh man, it was just so many good memories. Like, when I first joined, I just ragged on everyone in the fight nights, and I remember Baxis bringing in the bagel spread rule and stuff like that, and like barring me from the tournaments. It was so much fun. It was so great. I made a lot of friends just being in the group and just being, friendly with everyone. It was just such a good experience for me, especially since I've been here since 2009. I played Team Fortress 2 for so long, but I never been a part of a group that I loved so much. This group really is the best. No other group I never felt so a part of. And even though I was never active in the later seasons, even though I memed on the staff a lot and made their lives hell, but I just want to say that I'm really honored, and I really appreciate everyone that came here, and I appreciate every boxer I fought. I appreciate everyone that I got to fight.
This next member, he's been the meme master. He's been another meme master around the NHBL. He's been a soundboard extraordinaire. He's just because he's only champion of one tournament, and that was the season 8 Battle Royale. Just because he was only a champion of one tournament does not diminish his legacy at all. Consistently placing either in the second round of the playoffs by a close margin or by a close margin in the super semis, especially coming this close to being the runner-up for the 8th Sasha Heavyweight Championship when he was in the semis. He's had an incredible legacy, and especially with his contributions to fight nights and being the sound master. Let's give it up for the next inductee, a fluffy teddy bear.
Breaking news! Live, this is just in, live in the NHBL Superdome. The NHBL Hall of Fame inductions are underway, and as expected, it's a complete shit show. Wait. Let's go to our live respondent, a Floppy Teddy Bear, for more info on the matter. You, a Fluffy Teddy Bear. Now, the Gentleman's Fedora, owner and founder of NHBL, has decided to make a Hall of Fame, which includes outstanding members of the NHBL community, such as boxers and staff members. However, there have recently been allegations against Fedora, accusing him of favoritism, picking Hall of Fame inductions based on the highest bidder. He has also been accused by many, including some of the league's own members, of winning all of the tournaments, most notably due to ICE winning the NHBL Finals 2 times in a row. Fedora has not released a statement on these matters. and likely never will, since this newscast is just a shitty joke by me, Fluffy Teddy Bear. Unbelievable. Stay tuned, or don't, because I'm not continuing this joke any longer. Good job. Oh, he's actually got an actual speech.
Beautiful, beautiful.
He actually has a real speech, ladies and gentlemen. That was just a joke he said. I would like to use my speech to single out one member of the NHBL, who I believe deserves praise above all others. When I was just a younging back in Season 7, I believe, I saw a Steam announcement for a thing called Fight Night. And I decided, hey, people punch each other. And the one who punches better gets free crap. Sign me up. And so I joined. Fluffy Teddy Bear did. I kept coming back. Want to know why? I believe this is where the crowd says why. It wasn't for the keys, although that did help.
Why?
Good question, Spotton. It was for the community there. And there was one dude there who I believe shined above all others there. No, it wasn't African Redhead City. It was the guy running the show, keeping all of the people in their cribs, giving them their bottles, taking care of them. I would like for you all to give a big round of applause for Bax. That's the main thing I wanted to get out of the way. Thank you all for being here, says Fluffy Teddy Bear.
He's not here in server, but Lock Trap is in the Hall of Fame. He's the champion of the Season 7 Fisticuffs, qualified consistently for the playoffs, and the seasons that he participated, and he was fantastic in everything that he did. So congratulations to Lock Trap on his induction. He didn't send an induction speech, and he's not in attendance, unfortunately. The Magic Marksman was another pivotal member in our SSBL NHBL partnership. He was a runner-up. He's a runner-up in the tournament, not specified here on the stat sheet, but he had a runner-up in one tournament. He was also the first American boxer to make it to the Final Four in the European Finals, and he was fourth place in the playoffs for Season 7. And I'm sure Clayface will attest to, as he always says, I wish we had that film from the SSBL NHBL press conference because of how intense it was on this very stage. And I remember that very fondly. That
was awesome.
Promoting that day won the fight of the year that season, and Spotton's in server right now. I'm sure you can agree with me. That was a hell of a fight.
Dude, that fight was so amazing. It was great. If I remember, White Russian Bear steamrolled one of the members, but then me and his fight was yeah. And then me and his fight, if I remember, was it Magic Marksman?
Yeah.
Yes,
no,
it was.
I don't remember, but
yep,
it was.
So me and his fight was down to the damn wire. That was one of my favorite fights of all time. Damn. Feels like yesterday.
But anyways, congratulations to the Magic Marksman on his induction. So Dos Caras is inducted. He said he was going to be here. In our Steam messages, I sent the Hall of Fame announcement to him. He said, "Sure, I'm the best one. Give me a solo interview." I told him 5 minutes maximum on your speech. He said, "I only need 4." Unfortunately, he wasn't in attendance tonight to give that. But he was runner-up for one tournament in his career. He placed third in the finals of Season 7. And, of course, everyone remembers the main reason that Dos Caras was famous. So, to congratulate Dos Caras, everybody give a big Putis Pow!
Putis Pow! Putis Pow!
Next, we have Rage Will being inducted. He's competed in many tournaments. It's just like another boxer we'll get to directly after him. But Rage Will did not get to win a tournament in his heavy boxing career, but he was incredible. He was incredible to see. Incredible to see his dedication and his constant showing up and to talk with him about different things. And it's unfortunate that he didn't get Didn't get a tournament win or up to the Final Four, but we're excited to see him in the Hall of Fame. And he did provide for me an accepted speech because he could not be here tonight. I will pull that up here. He said, I, Rage Will, would like to thank everybody in the NHBL Superdome for inducting me into the, he said, rewards ceremony. How it pains me to not be able to be out tonight to say how it pains me to not be able to stay in tonight to say these words out loud. Work had to take me on this day of glory, but money is money. However, I would like to thank Clayface, Fedora, Baxter, Sins, and Brandflakes for being such dear friends. I first found this league when I was into boxing bets on another server, and then I did some research to see if there were any competitive heavy boxing leagues, and I finally found my home at the NHBL. At first, when I joined the server, I thought it was thought it was done, but then when I first saw my all-time friend Baxter hosting Fight Night, everything changed. I was at first bad, but I eventually got better and better till I finally made my debut on the Made League events and made my way to the finals, not once, not twice, I hope 3 times for our final season. Once this league goes away, I will still be around, but I will be hanging with my friends, trying to get the legendary Golden Pan and in hopes to get a new PC. Thank you once again, and let's hope to end the season with a bang. Sincerely, Smelly. And the next inductee. He has really regretted that he couldn't be here tonight, but one of the most chivalrous, one of the most amazing boxers in the NHBL. It is unfortunate that he couldn't be here, but that's Metro. He's been around since season 2, maybe even season 1. Again, I regret every day not saving the season 1 bracket to prove it, but Metro, the most appearances in the finals of every boxer. He appeared in the playoffs for every season, except for season 5. So season 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Always got in. He was the runner-up for the second Natasha Heavyweight Championship. And, of course, El Comandante talked about it earlier. Their first matchup in the European finals, our first time ever being in Europe back in 2017. And he did send me an acceptance speech. First of all, I must tell you all that I am very sorry I wasn't able to attend the ceremony of tonight, as I have things I must be doing with my family and have bad internet. Despite this, I am very grateful for what the league has been doing for all these years, as it has made me meet a lot of great and inspiring people along the years, such as Fedora himself, Clayface, Baxter, Sins, Ridge, Spogo, and a lot of other great peeps. We all have had a lot of fun. And let's not forget the guy that made it even better and hyped me up for more. That's right, I'm talking about you, El Comandante. I wouldn't have as much fun punching and getting punched if you weren't there for our fights. Making the first International Series match one that I'll remember fondly. Now, concerning the Hall of Fame today, it is with great pride that I accept this honor because the league means so much to me. And I hope that for whatever the following years are to become for the league, it will be a last year and last season to remember, keeping the league alive and all the milestones for years to come. Have a fantastic night, everybody. All right, so now this next boxer, in the Season 5 and Season 6 NHBL finals, he finished 4th. And he was, in the early NHBL days, he was essentially one of the first boxers to compete from Europe in the NHBL. And between that and I mostly inducted him as a staff member. I wanted to induct him as some sort of contributor, but he's a heavy boxer because that's primarily what he was with the NHBL. But he's done so much more. He's been, for those who don't know, he was the manager of Time to Play Network when they hosted us at season 4 and season 5. He every day made sure that our map was up and ready to go. He made sure that the server was ready for everything, for all the events that we were doing, and gave us our own server after Bonk's Fun Box. So it was incredible to work alongside him and for him to continue to be a boxer. So we'll go ahead and there is setup Blitzo. He gave me his speech to read off. And unfortunately, he's got the KGB equipped because this last gag won't work unless he has gloves, but that's besides the point. He said, "Whoa, I never would have thought I'd end up in the Hall of Fame, considering I haven't actually won a tournament. I am honored to have been chosen. I wish to thank everybody in the NHBL for making the NHBL the awesome experience it is today. I don't have much more to say, so to sum it all up with one word on a voice command. We're close to the matches, everybody. 2 more members, the last 2, but certainly not the least 2 to induct. Next up, we have the champion of the Season 9 Fisticuffs, the champion of the Season 9 Clash, and the runner-up for the 3rd Natasha Heavyweight Championship. And a boxer who has been incredible in his time in the NHBL, and he's cosmic, out of this world, and an item that seems like it's out of this world, but Space Vegemite himself, the European man who is arch enemies with Comfy Len.
Jesus Christ, there is a massive crowd. And everyone's a complete and utter jackass. Just kidding. So, yes, hi, me, Spin. So what does the Heavy Boxing League mean to me? What it means is to punch the shit out of people, yada yada yada. Punch people, all that shit. Except, not only has the Heavy Boxing League paralleled, I guess not really parallel, but not only helped me with confidence, is also paralleled with the real world. Now, to summarize what I mean by that, I'm going to use this as a line of not only just my time at the Heavy Boxing League, but also the real world. So, we start here, me joining this. It was, I believe, around Season 8. I partook in a fight night and then nearly won, lost to Bagel 4-0. Whoops. But yeah, this was me starting out, like, just wondering, hey, this is actually fun, how could I get better? Then we move on to this part where I work, and work, and work, and work, and then we reach here. And I've been a part of some of the best matches, like, ever. The rivalry with Len is legendary, I guess, here. And yes, I know you want to flex. I can do that too. But this parallels with the real world because much like 3 stages up here, I've also gone through 3 stages, like the kid who, like, everyone seemed to fly under everyone's radar, just, yeah, constantly being kept down by bullies and all of that jazz and shit, and people wanted to get into fights, and it's just everything not doing well at school. So come to the middle stage where, like, the middle stage with the Heavy Boxing League, I work, and 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 I work. And then we get to here, where not only has my time in the NHBL become successful, but I've become successful not just there, but also in real life, such as clearing up any kind of mental or physical stuff going on, my health. And yeah, I can thank the NHBL for all of that, because it's proven to me that anyone can go from point A to point B and just improve. I was actually able to pass final exams because confidence just gets you from point A to point B, like I've said. So if there's anything I can say, it's that no matter who you are, like what shape, size you are, like color, race, the same thing. No matter where you come from, there's always a chance to succeed. And I'm gonna leave this off by saying, Dad, hope I made you proud.
Last but certainly not least is the first European boxer to win an NHBL tournament. in season 7, he won the My Variety Backyard Brawl, and he was the runner-up for the first Natasha Heavyweight Championship, falling only by 2 rounds to Retro. And this boxer, unfortunately, did not he participated, I believe, a little bit in season 8. Unfortunately, did not participate in season 9, but is just an incredible boxer to witness and to see him. But certainly, last but certainly not least, the last inductee to the NHBL Hall of Fame, Mr. Viking 34.
Right, hello. I didn't know I'd be wrapping this up. Anyway, I'm definitely not as accomplished as many of these before me here. Really as recent. Very happy to be here nonetheless. And very typical of myself, I actually didn't prepare anything either, so I'll keep this kind of short. I can't really remember what made me sign up for the first tournament, but my philosophy was, and as still is, just kind of do it and it'll be fun. And it was fun. I was sort of taken off guard when like everyone I fought was just ended up being really good. It's kind of taken further off guard when I somehow kept winning. I think my fun would have just ended there had it not been for like Clayface in particular, who has been exceptional in keeping the game interesting for me personally. Reminded me of upcoming battles and tournaments to join when my complete lack of planning and sense of time would otherwise have prevented me from being there at all. So yeah, I suppose to that I would like to say cheers to the staff for keeping it going for so long, keeping it going for so well. Sometimes you win your battle in 3 meaty consecutive bear punches, and sometimes you lose in the finals despite a 4-point lead. The fights up till now at least made me feel like the former. So thank you very much. And it's also really late, so I'm going to go to bed. Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of various ages, thank you guys for keeping on tuning in with us here on the NHBL Twitch channel. We are live with our first action of the night. We're bringing you guys some exciting Fight Night action live on Twitch here in front of a large crowd here in the Fight Night Superdome, or in the NHBL Superdome, as well live on Twitch. My name is Sin Synergy alongside Gearhead, and as well special guest commentator for night, now Hall of Famer commentator Bax. He's going to be in here eyeing up his potential fighter. So, you're number 1 contender, Bax, for the Fight Night Championship. Whoever the Fight Night Champion is out of the Hall of Fame match here tonight will be your opponent at Red Alert this Friday. Bax, give me your thoughts between both of these boxers. You've been with the ring with both of these guys plenty of times. I mean, give me your thoughts on both of these guys, gentlemen, here in this ring.
Well, Matt, I think he has come probably the farthest out of anybody in that ring right here. Bright Boy, he came in, he was kind of a natural. Like, he got it first day in the ring. He was ready to go. Whether or not that's attributable to the fact that I couldn't punch him in his face because he had a ping upwards in the 200s, but that's besides the point. The point is that Bright Boy, he's a very scary guy because he's the kind of guy who just gets it in the ring. But Mech has put in a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a lot of practice to get where he is right now and challenging Bright Boy for the championship. So I'm going to have a tough way either way, depending on, it doesn't matter really who wins this match. Granted, it's not going to really matter because I'm going to clean house at Red Alert. This is mostly, who has the advantage of losing to me in a week or so. So yeah,
Hey, fair statement. Hey, you've been on a tear in Fight Night ever since you started. And Gearhead, I have to bring you in, of course. I mean, you were boxed with both of these guys as well. I think you boxed with more Bright Boy more than you did with Meh. But you have to argue here that Bright Boy, he's the Fight Night champion. His first title defense from winning the Fight Night championship against White Russian Bear at Boxing Mania. Give me your thoughts on Bright Boy real quick.
Well, he's absolutely the favorite. I've got to say that first and foremost. Bright Boy is just an absolutely talented boxer. Coming from someone who's fought him numerous times, he just has that boxing IQ. He just has the natural skill needed in a boxer. And honestly, I don't know if Mac can necessarily keep up with him for as long as it goes. It could go to a full 11 rounds. But all I can say is that it will definitely be an exciting match to watch.
All right, we're going up to our first action of the night. Bright Boy defending his Fight Night Championship against Meh. Fight Night action coming up right now. Both taking a stab at each other. Both boxers looking to get, a little bit of a feel for each other. Look like Meh's up a punch. And Bright Boy's just going to defensive here. Meh misses a punch, and Bright Boy tried to get an end on him, but it didn't work. Meh is up 1-0. Gearhead, what'd you see in that one that got Meh the win in that?
It was the missed punch by Bright Boy, the dodge by Meh, that crucial one right at the end that really solidified Meh's win in that round. If it weren't for that, I'm not sure Meh would have taken the round. It was down to the wire, definitely nail-biting action, but Meh pulled through in the end with that crucial dodge right at the end.
All right, so the champion is down by 1 in this, but there's plenty of room to get back into this. Of course, it is 6 out of 11. Meh taking a chunk out of Bright Boy's health, but Meh missed a hit, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Meh is now up 2-0. Backs, being as the #1 contender, and looking at this, Meh's looking pretty good so far.
Well, Bright Boy's always had the advantage of being the cautious one in the ring. Most of the time, a lot of his wins come from him waiting for somebody to come in, take a swing, inevitably miss, and then roll on into the next round. But that's not happening with Meh. Meh is also a very cautious fighter, so Bright Boy's going to have to adjust his game here if he wants to have any hope of defeating Meh.
All right, so Meh is up by 2 here in this matchup. Bright Boy's looking to get back in it. Meh with a quick punch. That's been his motto since the very start of this match. And Meh unfortunately missed that one. I think Bright Boy's starting to pick him up, and will do it in that round. 2-1. As you see, Bright Boy's starting to change up his game, Gearhead, and that's really made the difference in that one.
The thing is, once you learn a boxer, you start to shift your strategy to try to get that little advantage over him. It's the little advantages that always put you over the top. It's utilizing whatever you can in the ring, and it sometimes can be the smallest thing that could end up being the biggest difference.
2-1 in this one, and both boxers meeting up in the center of the ring there, both getting a punch off. And both boxers just eyeing each other off. Ooh, and Meh gets a hit. I don't think Bright Boy got that hit off registered correctly there, and Bright Boy is starting to ease back a little bit. Meh getting another solid punch. Look at those quick dodges. He must have been taking dancing lessons because he got those quick feet. He got those quick feet and backs. You endorsed Meh. You saw him. What was it? Lazy Purple? I think you saw him at, and or you endorsed him at some point. And you know how good he is. Are you seeing that kind of that good style of Meh that you've seen him do countless of times before?
Meh has really figured out where the hitboxes lie, which is possibly the most important thing to know if you're a heavy boxer. Melee in this game is a game of inches. And he has been just outside of Bright Boy's reach every single time, and it's allowed him to get in quick, get a few punches in before Bright Boy can even recover. I'm very impressed with Meh's ring awareness here.
All right, so Bright Boy quick out of his corner there. He's looking a little bit. Now he went to the toilet. He's looking all fueled up, getting ready to go. And Bright Boy on the aggressive, putting Meh towards the ropes there, and that's going to signal the win in that one. Talk about a vicious. Oh my goodness, Gearhead, real quick. That was a really good matchup, but follow up on that question I asked you. It's a different atmosphere in here. It's a lot more space, just a little bit more of a big fight feel, and we're getting that here tonight between these two competitors.
Definitely, the nerves are a factor once you reach the big stage, the Vatican City Superdome, and it can get to a boxer, but you just gotta power through those nerves. You just gotta stay focused, stay coordinated, and just buckle down and do it. There's no other way to say it.
All right, so both boxers coming out there, and Meh kind of being on the aggressive side, putting up. Going up forward to Bright Boy. Bright Boy's inching his way closer to that end of the ring there, and Bright Boy ties it up 3-3. Oh my goodness, talk about that aggressive style. We're seeing a new style of Bright Boy. And Bax, real quick. I mean, you've been in a ring with Bright Boy plenty of times. You know how skilled he is as an aggressive boxer. Now you're seeing that true side of Bright Boy.
Oh yeah, Bright Boy's aggression has always served him well. When he's not trying to bait you in, he's hopping all over the ring, putting you against the ropes, and just beating you down like a rented mule, as a once famous commentator would say. And you know, this man's got to adjust his game plan here because the aggression is coming out. Bright Boy feels himself cornered, and now he's fighting like a cornered rat. And so, it's going to be interesting to see how he turns this around here.
All right, and Fedor just mentioned too. This is the first time a three-man booth has been used in season 7. Yeah, truly a Hall of Fame moment. It's definitely special for everyone involved. But we're having a very special match here, and man, it's just man got lost. Bright Boy, he's now taking his first lead here in this match of 4-3, and I think the nerves are starting to slowly settle in there, Gearhead, for Matt.
Yeah, that's, like I said, it's a huge factor, and it sounds like it's an easy thing to overcome, but it really isn't. Once you reach the big stage, sometimes you get those jitters, and sometimes that really throws you off your game. Meh's going to have to step up here, but Bright Boy has done an excellent job not only keeping that in check, but keeping the nerves from being down in check. He's come back in a huge way.
All right, 4-3 for Bright Boy. And both boxers going on the aggressive there. Meh is kind of on the defense. Meh missed a punch there. And Bright Boy sees that opportunity, and Bright Boy's just going to stand it because he knows he's up. And ladies and gentlemen, it's 5-3 match point for the champion. That, man, the only action that you'll get like this, other than major circuit, is Fight Night and Backs. We're seeing some really good match between these two, and Bright Boy coming out of nowhere, and we're up 5-3.
Oh yeah, Bright Boy has really figured out Meh's game here. He's been overly aggressive. I will be honest, he is being the I saw in round 4 that he was kind of the benefit of a very long reach, but still his game plan in these last few rounds has been very strong, and Meh's got to figure out something here real quick.
All right, possibly last match. Oh, come out, spin move. The only thing you'll see in Fight Night is a spin. Oh, Bright Boy, he is.
Oh, it might cost him.
Man, he's not having none of it. But no, man.
Oh!
NHBL Night champion is Bright Boy. Congratulations, Bright Boy. Winning 6-3. Seeing a big spin move between both boxers. Bright Boy, real quick, you're the reigning defending Fight Night champion. Your first defense. Congratulations, Bright Boy. Give me a little speech on, just a little, because we're on time, of your victory here tonight.
Holy crap! In the first round, I actually thought I was going to lose to Meh. Like, literally, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking to myself, I think I'm gonna win these few rounds, but no. Meh was kind of doing his own strategy, and it was good. It was a good strategy. I was literally losing the 3 rounds, but then I said, wait, I'm holding my piss, I need to take it out. And then all the gamer energy come to me, and I was like, okay, it's time to end this man's entire career.
Wow. Yes, I mean, I'm pretty sure you won every round since you took that bathroom break. So yeah, remember, take bathroom breaks, kids, and you'll become a good boxer. Thank you, Bright Boy. You'll be going up against Bax next week at Red Alert. Bax, how do you feel about that?
I am here in the ring actually. I have a text to speech thing prepared in honor of my good friend who just went into the Hall of Fame tonight, Fluffy.
Bright Boy, congratulations on your win. This is, by the way, Bax talking. So, if you've done well, but at Red Alert, I must destroy you.
Warm-up rounds for this matchup between history legend versus defending champion. Comfy Len and WHOO gotta be sneaky. Gentlemen, it's Fedora going back to where it all began with, of course, the NHBL, but going back to where it all began for Clayface's history in the NHBL, first seeing the 3rd Sasha Heavyweight Championship and immediately deciding new traders on the block needs to have an interpromotional fight with these guys. But you've seen the 3rd Sasha Heavyweight Championship however many times you watched it religiously, Clayface. You've seen Sneaky kind of warm up in some cases, but what's his skill set now compared to what it was back in 2013?
Well, this is a real what-if story here, Fed. It's the story of can a guy from the face of the league in Season 3 come back after 6 years and try to take out the #1 guy in the world right now. It's a real what-if story, and I honestly could not tell you what to expect out of Sneaky. It's going to be a real mystery. However, I can tell you a few things about the boxer himself. He is very, very technical, knows how to get the job done. I've seen him fight live under high ping, and I've seen him fight under low ping. He's just as good on both, and it's going to be a great match here. Comfy has got his hands full, let me tell you that.
He's also really skilled at fighting because he won the Sasha Heavyweight Championship when his stomach was torn up for A&W. So that man is just completely steel all throughout. And Sneaky may not even remember that, but that's the only time that that situation there. But joining us in the booth is another tribute to the three-man broadcast booth that the NHBL had from Season 7 and before is the one and only Baxter. You've seen Comfy Len box, and of course you've seen throughout history and such. What makes Comfy Len so different in that he could potentially oust the third Sasha Heavyweight Champion here tonight?
Well, for starters, I haven't just seen the man box. I've fought the man while boxing, and the best thing I can say about Comfy Lynn is his versatility. The man can switch it up on a dime. He can be overly cautious, he can stick to the ropes, he can bait you in, or he can just be overly aggressive, take you down, and get the win before you even realize what's happened. The ability of Comfy Lynn to adapt to his opponent, to figure out their strategy early on, and then just pound them down from there to the end of the match is just it's very shocking. I've never seen another boxer with quite the same skill set as this guy, especially for a guy who just started boxing less than a year ago, only about a year ago. So I mean, pound for pound, this guy might be one of the best raw talents we've ever had in the NHBL. And I know I said pound a lot. That's probably going to be a meme now. Why did I come back to this booth?
No, what's going to become a meme after Season 10, the National Heavy Boxing League is now going to become into existence.
Oh, I got to copyright that. Thank you. I'm going to put that on a t-shirt.
Round 1. Sneaky charges out, and apparently he's unbound all keys but M1. Is it going to help him here getting his punches in? And round 1 goes to Sneaky. At Clayface, he's getting some feelings over there.
Woo! It brings me back to when I first started in this league, man. Look at him. Came out from one end of the ring into the other end of the ring and just walloped Comfy Len. I don't think he was expecting that, but my goodness, the champ's got his head in, got his hands full tonight. These two have been talking trash, by the way, Fedora. Comfy even had the nerve to call Sneaky an old man. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be interesting tonight. Very fantastic.
Sneaky also said he plugged in his GameCube controller, so we're going to see how that benefits.
Can we check the rulebook on that?
Seriously, check the rulebook on that, actually.
Moon, what's the rulebook say on that?
All right, new amendment for the next season. You can only box in the NHBL with the standard keyboard, PS4 controller, or Wii remote.
PS4?
PS4 is compatible with PC. Good luck.
Okay. And round 2. Sneaky has the advantage. Could Comfy Len come back? The flame going on his heart as he tries to get the punches in, but Sneaky just taking control there, Baxter. Comfy Len is down 2-0.
Yeah, that was a very, I don't want to say a sloppy match, but they definitely missed a lot of shots there at the end. You saw WHOO kind of get thrown off his game near the end. He picked it up, though, and it was Comfy who was off his game near the end. So both of these guys, I don't know if it's nerves kind of getting to him, but I think they both kind of got to settle down here and get their eye on the prize, that being, what's the prize? Bragging rights? We're going to have the bragging rights? Winner gets a key? I'll give a ref to the winner. One ref to the winner of this match.
Yeah, bragging rights.
Winner's walking away with actually 3 keys. Just so that you know. Yeah, of course. And the winner of the Fight Night match also got 3 keys.
Well, when were y'all gonna tell me? We gotta fire the notes guy. Worst hire I ever made.
It's now an advantage of 2-0 for Sneaky. Comfy Len not messing around with the unusual change. Punch, and bang! Got a round victory.
Shit.
Sneaky a little bit Clay.
I'm just so in the mood, man. These are 2 of my favorite boxers colliding in the ring. I could have sworn to you I would never have seen that day again where we're going to be Sneaky. He's actually back in an NHBL wings, duking it out with one of my other favorites, Comfy Len. It's an absolute dream to watch this. Comfy took control of the center, dodged to the left, and Sneaky missed the first punch. Wonderful tactic there by Comfy Len.
The Sneaky, the more he boxes, the more focal he gets. It's just like C3 all over. Oh, it's beautiful. Comfy Len getting the punches and Sneaky trying to be himself, but the spin move. Oh no! Incredible weaving to go up 3-1. Baxter the spin.
Now, this is partly my fault because I hyped him up a lot at the start of this broadcast. I think he got a little too cocky there. The spin, a very rewarding but also very debilitating move if it misses. And there, Comfy just wasn't able to get his feet set again once he completed the 360 spin, and now he's down 3-1. He's got to I got to be in comeback mode here.
A 3-1 advantage as Comfy Len pulls a Steve Harvey and goes, Nani? As WHOO got to be sneaky, gets the punches, and he's weaving around, and he's got a 4-1 advantage already.
Got an achievement of that?
This is beautiful. This is
that one moment in the chat has made me crack.
Orange belt and the heavy milestone 1.
What a fantastic round, though. Both men were a little bit sloppy in the center, as Bax mentioned before. They're kind of losing control halfway through the match. It's a strange round to watch here. Keep in mind, Comfy Len is competing on at 2:30 in the morning on London ping, so it is tough for him. But yeah, wow.
At this point, he just wants to go to bed.
It's 4-1. Sneaky turned his mouth sensitivity up to 100 as he's getting the punches in. And how is he going to let? There's a reason it's now 4-2. I have never done play-by-play laughing before. That's a first. And Baxter,
all right,
this
so
is
I'm
going
to apply some good old-fashioned high-quality textbook analysis here to this matchup. So, what happened there is that WHOO got to be sneaky, set his sensitivity to 100 on his mouse. The issue with the round was he set his sensitivity to 100 on his mouse. What he's got to do to fix this is he's not got to set his sensitivity on his mouse to 100. If he can do that, then I think he might be able to win this next few matches.
200.
200? Oh no!
He's going the wrong way.
Oh no! Oh, Moon, good luck with this.
I can feel the screen shake from here.
It's not good.
We're going into round 6 or 7. My bad. Both boxers. Whenever you're ready, if you can get a hold of yourself.
Hang on. Wait. Okay.
All right, begin after the bell.
You talk about boxers getting cocky, and that's one example of that. Here goes Sneaky as Comfy Len into the corner. He's spilling around trying to control his mouse. Comfy Len doesn't even know what to do. He let Comfy Len only down by 1 round. Oh my goodness, Clay. This is turning quickly from a Hall of Fame match to something you would see at an experiment in Fight Night.
Yeah, no, look. I mean, they're just having fun in there, but I would wish they actually gave it 110%. I would love to see these men actually just give a full round of commitment. It would be awesome. I want to see Sneaky back in its full prime here, man.
You saw that in round 1, but we'll possibly see it in
I know,
round 8.
but the guy's been out of competition for so long. It begs the question of if he still has it. I want to keep seeing that.
Okay, premature bell ring happens all the time.
I had it up 10, but I lost it at 100. I'm sorry.
Okay. We're going into round 9. Boxers, when you're ready. Cool. Begin after the bell.
All right, round 8. It's a 4-3 advantage for Sneaky as Comfy Len just lands the punches in there. Sneaky getting some decent punches. Punch,
Man,
and
he
gets
looks
a
good.
5-3 advantage. 1 round away, even amidst the memishness. 1 round away from getting 3 keys.
Excuse me. You know, I gotta say, I'm very impressed with WHOO tonight. I mean, I know he's been joking around a lot, and I know he's been out of the ring for a couple years, but WHOO still looks like he can go. For a guy who literally hasn't been playing this game since last Christmas, as we saw earlier, he actually unboxed his stocking stuffer, which is just nuts. So, I mean, I would be interested in seeing WHOO at a fight night sometime in the near distant future.
Damn, man.
He's unlocked.
It's a Hall of Fame miracle!
Oh. Rusty Sprinkler.
Rusty Sprinkler.
Oh, Moon, good luck.
A few name changes won't change the outcome of this match. But good luck, both boxers, again. Give it a wholehearted yes when you're ready.
Yes. Yes, my friend.
I don't think Comfy's aware that I'm allergic to rusty sprinklers.
Begin after the bell.
It would be 12.
Uh-oh.
And here we go. Match point for Sneaky. Can he get it done at the Hall of Fame? Final Boss King backs, getting the punches in, and he forces it to another round. It's 5-4.
Who are you referring to? Is it me or Bax now?
I mean, even if I
me.
mentioned it to you, you're just starstruck by all this, man.
Oh man, this is like taking me back to when I was in high school, when I watched the NHBL for the first time. But I'm gonna go back into basics with the analysis and just say that Sneaky's looked good tonight, but Comfy is not backing down, man. The guy can still go here tonight, man. I tell you, it looks great. It's fantastic.
And again, still match point as Sneaky spins in the ring. Remember, that was a rule that they could do, but Comfy Len trying to get the punch. He's going to force it to a final round. What a Hall of Fame match. Bax, this conclusion is about to be epic.
Well, since I'm apparently in the ring right now, I'm doing... let me tell you something about King Baxter. The crown actually adds +5 damage to your fists. I just a little known fact. That's why I took it off before I started my boxing career. I feel like that would have been cheating. But you see here, I kind of lost where I was going with this joke. The train's kind of derailed. So what I'm just going to say is, please bring it home for the Bax clan. I will. Snack break.
Snack break. Oh, by the way, Sneaky, there's still no spitting allowed in the ring.
Spitting or spinning? I've done both.
Spit.
I mean, at what he hocked a big enough loogie to, I think, where it scientifically classifies as vomit. So I mean,
we do not have a janitor. This is really difficult to clean up. Please, please.
I told Ted to hire a janitor, but I didn't have the money in the budget.
And final round in the Hall of Fame match. Is it going to be Len? Is it going to be Sneaky? Which one will take home the 3 keys and the bragging rights? Punches by both. Sneaky takes it. The legend lives on.
Man.
What a contest.
Well,
what a contest we just witnessed. Well, let me get down there.
Clayface is going to get down there. Before Clayface asks any questions, Sneaky, I just have to ask, do you have A and W in your system?
If you can believe it, no.
All right, down to Clayface with his favorite heavy boxer.
WHOO gotta be Sneaky, one of my favorite heavy boxers of all time. Welcome back to the NHBL. 6 years in the making, taking out Comfy Len tonight. Well, welcome back, man.
Back.
What a performance.
Holy
what was the strategy?
Cocaine.
Wait, stop moving, stop moving. I gotta interview this guy.
He's hopped up on adrenaline.
It's the cocaine he just took.
The what?
He just said his strategy was cocaine.
Is that illegal? Is that we got to check the rule book on that one?
The rule book, please.
So
that's drug-induced performances.
Why am I chasing? I'm playing tag in the ring. I'm playing bloody tag today.
Oh, I'm being
okay.
What was the strategy? Answer the question.
Answer the question. Why am I playing tag with Sneaky?
Why are there so
Len, though, hang on. How many?
There's so many Lennys. There's Lenny.
Lenny. Okay, Len. Which
What is
one is Len?
happening?
Which one is Len?
This. I don't know. What is happening? Hold on, let me get a.
What?
None of
We
them
get a
are Len, they're
screenshot of
all
this real quick.
They're all
Okay,
Baxter.
well, Len is Len is somewhere in the ring. Len, I want to ask you, what was the tactic in there tonight? You've never fought him. You've never fought a guy like Sneaky before. What was the plan in there tonight?
Just go in all fist blazing. I mean, I've been out of the game a little bit because I've been banned from Fight Night. So yeah, it's been good. The old man still got it.
I mean, it was a great performance. It went to a double match point. You looked good regardless. After all the trash talk and all that, you gotta. Could you say he still got it?
Yeah, absolutely. I just said it then. The old man still got it. He's still still life in the old dog yet.
The old man still got it. Sneaky, your response to that?
I didn't know I was old, but thank you.
Well, he's saying you're old because you haven't been. You competed in season 3 of the league 6 years ago.
Criticize me.